In this video, we're going to make some interior trim for the windshield of a 1934 Cadillac Coupe. This is the new stuff that I made. It was a few years ago to replace the original. So it's a close copy of what was in there. And the only way to make this is by bending the wood. And it's walnut. I didn't know how walnut would bend, but as it turned out, it worked quite well. It's just a small piece. It's I think it was an inch and a half by 3/8. So it took the bend. It really took the bend well. But to do it accurately, I had to make a kind of a press, and I used a car scissors jack and just some plywood and some solid wood for rails. And this is the setup. This board goes over these rails and forces the steamed wood into this shape, which is the shape of this old wood here. This is an original piece, and this is a dry run, but that's how it works. The jack, just the pressure, and the clamp just give the wood nowhere to go but back into this form. And these edges here are rounded, so that the wood goes in without snapping off. And here's the actual piece. It had to go into the steamer for I think 2 hours, and when it came out, you have to really rush it over to the table because it starts getting stiff right away as soon as you take it out of the steamer. So you have to waste as little time as possible. So you have to make sure that your setup is ready to go right now, and get it in there and crank it down. And I let it dry for a day, and the next morning came out, and it really did have the shape. It really works. Actually, putting the profile on this piece was I don't have any record of that, but I did it, and it was kind of harrowing, because I had gone to all this trouble in setting up this jig to make this piece and didn't want to have to go through it again, so I didn't want to make any mistakes with that shaper table and the big rounding over bit I used to make the actual profile on the piece. But I just went slowly and carefully, and it worked really well. This is the steamer setup. It's just a wallpaper steamer and a piece of, I think it's 4-inch PVC with a little vent hole drilled in here, and it gets cooking in about a half an hour, and you can leave it alone for a good hour and a half, and then you have to start checking it because you've got a metal element in here that will, I wouldn't want to know what will happen if the water ran out on one of these, but I can imagine, it's got to be kind of like a mini reactor in there. So you can do it. It's just steam bending. It's there's more. This was a small piece, so it was pretty easy to do, and there's a lot more you can learn about steam bending, but it worked for me in this situation.